One of the things that I have had the opportunity to work with clients on is lead qualification. Why don't we qualify our leads better before jumping on a call with them? It is a source of frustration and discouragement when we don't take time to do this. And so, if you are leveraging sales calls in your business, and you're just leaving it open for the world to get on your calendar, then this video is for you. Hello, it's Dr. Nadia, and today I am chatting about lead qualification. I thought about lead qualification quite a bit as we were preparing our little one for kindergarten. And oh my gosh, there's so much paperwork. I'm like, she's already in. Why are we still filling out paperwork? And I was thinking about this process. And then, as I'm talking to different clients and prospects, we're always looking at, like, how do we make more efficient use of our time? But there's this thing around lead qualification, and it's a big stickler for me as we're looking at leveraging sales conversations in our business. And here's why: you only have so much time. And if you now have a sales team, you are compensating your sales team based on their time and that they're talking, who they're speaking to, or they're being rewarded for being able to close, sales. And you want them to talk to people that can actually afford and are right for your services. So it's a win, 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 win all the way around. And so today I wanted to talk more about this process of being able to actually qualify your leads. And I'm going to pick up mostly from the place of once that person is ready to prepare for that sales conversation, but know that in our Convert Labs, we do look at more of, things that you can do even before they get to that stage, at earlier and earlier stages in your customer or client journey. So it's important to know that this isn't just in this spot, but today I really want to focus on that because it makes a huge difference. So the first thing is you need to have a lead qualification process. If you don't already have one, then I encourage you to get one. It can be as simple as having people fill out a questionnaire or submit an application before they schedule a call. Now, obviously, as you work and tweak this process, there are things that you can do to really make it a lot more sophisticated. But at the base level, gather some basic information before you have them schedule the conversation. And here's the big thing about that. Even if you're like, I'm not 100% sure, like what questions I want to ask or, what I really want this process to look like. The cool thing is not only do you gather some basic information about that person, so you're going into that conversation with a nice starting point, you also learn a lot of things based on how people respond to the questions. So if someone is like one word answers, they're not, really reading through the questions, you're like, then you get to determine, do I even want to waste my time? I shouldn't say that. I should not say that. But do I want to use my time and dedicate my time to having a conversation with someone who clearly has demonstrated that they are not a good fit for my program, unless that's part of your program, like you work with people that just don't complete stuff and do it well, then they would be great fit, right? You're like, yes, that's my person. Or you could say, okay, you know what? They're displaying characteristics that may not be a good fit. Or when you go into the conversation with them, you can determine if you can address it. You like, Nadia, I noticed that you didn't answer the questions or you didn't fill out. Like, do you always do everything in your business this way? Like, this is why. Or do it in your health? Do you start something and then you don't finish it? Do you start an exercise program and you quit halfway? So you could leverage the behaviors that you see if you determine that you want to have the conversation. But one of the things that as you continue to grow your business, if you haven't already hit that point, is you are really, really, really protective of your time. And if you aren't, you should be. And so you get to determine how you leverage your time and how you spend it. Because that's the one thing you can't get back. And so We get to be a lot more discerning and protective of our time when we leverage tools like such as these, because you can go in and cancel set appointments, make some different recommendations, or know that you're going to keep the conversation short or however you want to do it. But you won't know that until you actually start to put some of these things in place. Another cool thing about having the lead qualification process in place is that you actually get to position yourself as the expert. So, one of the things that I often hear as it relates to sales conversations and why people are reluctant to have them is they're like, I feel like I'm having to convince people to work with me. Or they go in with this energy or this feeling of having to prove that they're good enough to work with their prospects, and invite them into their programs or to offer their services at a certain price point. And one of the things that questions actually help you to do in these conversations is to really demonstrate your expertise without having to like toot your own horn. So just by asking the right questions, you now are positioning yourself as the expert that you are, and people see that. So I've had people numerous times during the sales conversation be like, "Oh my gosh, I've never had someone ask me that question in that way to make me think about my business in this, like you just completely shifted my mindset or my way of thinking, right?" And all I did was ask a question, right? Like, it wasn't this big presentation. I didn't go in like, I am Dr. Nadia and you're going to listen to me. Like, no, I just show up as I am and I ask questions and I'm getting to know people. But you can ask questions that can really start to shift how people think about things, especially because no one does what you do the way you do it. So you coming into that conversation, you really get to just demonstrate what makes you different just by asking questions. And the third thing I want to talk about today as it relates to your lead qualification process is just that having a lead qualification process in place works not only obviously for you, we talked a lot about you, but it also helps to set the expectations and set the stage for your prospects and your potential clients. So when you think about when you're on the other side of the table and you're the buyer, the thoughts, the doubts, some of the ideas that may come to your mind, some of the worries or concerns going into that conversation that you may have, now having this qualification process helps to set the stage and prepare your potential clients before they get to that conversation, so that you help to alleviate their worries, their concerns, any of their fears. You can really start to set the stage for them so that when they show up to the conversation, they're also more prepared. So it works both ways. You want them to be in a powerful place so that they can make a powerful decision, the most powerful decision that is best for them. And if it's a great fit, then we definitely want them to be like, yes, let's go do this, right? And so we can help our prospects. We can help make it easier for them, help them be more prepared when we are more prepared. So as you're looking at your sales systems, your sales processes, your time. I talk about that because I'm like, oh, child, this is the year of reclaiming my time. Then you have to take a moment and you can say, hey, do I even have a lead qualification process in place? And if I do, is it the best? Are there some things that we may be able to tweak? Are there some things we may want to go back and add to really make it more robust so that, again, you can be most prepared and your prospects can too? This works both ways. You want people that are excited, you want them to be ready, and it doesn't have to be so painful when it comes to sales. When we really take it that and we take a look at our entire process, our entire system from a holistic approach, and we add these relationship elements in there and really build that out so that people feel supported and appreciated, and and they feel special. They don't just feel like, oh, this is just another number. I'm just the 9:30 for Dr. Nadia. Good Lord. Like, no, I feel special. And when I show up, I know that I have her undivided attention. And I know that she is really focused on me and helping me decide what is that next best step for me from a genuine place. Like, we can really set the tone for that, even before people get to the conversation. Now, a word of warning or caution. This is not a one and done thing. Like as you continue to build things out, you will see areas of improvement. It's always in progress. I remember someone saying that about my website because I was so hung up on the website years ago. I was like, oh my God, the website has to be perfect and there can't be anything wrong ever. And they were like, Nadia, your website will always be under construction. Like it will just, it's ever evolving. It's a living, breathing system. And so I was like, but it was so profound for me in that moment because I was making such a big deal about it that it was just like, there you go. Website is always under construction, right? So it just took that pressure off. Like, you know what? As things change, I can go in and change the website. Like it's as simple as that. And so I use that example, same as for your sales system. You're going to get some pieces in place now because that just gets things going. But as you continue to work with different clients, as you have more conversations, as your organization continues to grow, as you consider bringing in sales team, like there are just some things that'll continue to shift and you'll have those ebbs and flows. So I don't want you to put so much pressure on yourself that I have to change everything tomorrow because Dr. Nadia said I need these. However, I do want you to pay attention and do regular audits and, so that you and your team can see like, where are the areas that we can make this better so that we can continue to communicate to our clients and prospects that they mean a lot to us and that relationship is genuinely a real thing for us and not just lip service because it sounds nice to say. Like these are things that you can do over time that can really help grow your business. And if you're like, Dr. Nadia, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, help me. I invite you to come to Surge. At Surge, we are going to talk about lead qualification. We're going to talk about your pipeline, your customer journey. If any of that stuff today, and you're like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. I need help with all of that. Then I invite you to come to Surge. It's a one-day intensive with yours truly, where we are looking at how to make your sales system better so that you have consistent cash coming into your business and you are working with clients that you are excited to work with. So that you're not looking at your calendar like, oh my gosh, is her contract up yet? Like, we don't want you to feel that way about your business. We dealt with that when we were in corporate. We don't have to deal with that now. Okay. All right. So if that is you, we are getting together on August 14th. I invite you to join us. You can reserve your seat at surge2021.com. That's surge2021.com. Head on over, reserve your seat. I look forward to seeing you there. This is Dr. Nadia signing off. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.